All right, some portrait talk. I am going to recommend drawing in pencil for this project because you're going to make lots of lines, and some of them you're going to want to keep, and some of them you are going to want to get rid of. Um, I'm drawing on a small sketchbook just so that I can have everything in it, so I'm hoping this is okay for you. All right, so the start of our head. Our heads are ovals. A lot of times when we're little, we think that they're little circles. They are not, they're ovals. So, what I recommend people do is draw a very simple oval, or if that seems hard, draw yourself a circle. And then when you add that draw line in, it's kind of like extending that circle to make it into an oval, and then that line would be something that goes away later. So on my paper, and I would say, as big as you can make things on your paper, I would do that. Think about where your hair and things are going to fill up, but you have a big piece of paper, draw big. If you have small, then you're obviously going to draw smaller, but it doesn't make sense to draw something really small on paper this size. So I'm going to say I want my head to be about this big. And sometimes when I draw really lightly so I can erase the lines that I don't need and I can darken up the ones that I want to keep. But I'm going to go something like that. Then I want to kind of imagine my halfway point here and my halfway point here. And I'm going to draw those lines in really light because those lines aren't really on our faces. These are going to be guidelines that help us moving forward. All right. So from here, I need to show you my face. So hang on a second. Maybe I'm upside down. Oh, I'm sideways. There we go. Okay. So if you were to look in a mirror or say you're working from a picture of yourself, what I want you to notice is that your eyes are the same size and the space between your eyes is also equal to an eye. So your face is kind of like, five eyes across. Now that changes the second you turn your head one way or look down or look up. So we're just drawing like looking straight forward. And that's what I want you to do for this part of understanding it. All right. So there we go. So your eyes, move this focus here. Your eyes are going to be on this line in the middle. Now, some people think that, that's not right, but if you really look at a picture or a picture of a person, or you really look at your parents or your brother or your sister and focus and kind of look at the top of their head to their chin, your eyes are smack dab in the middle of your head. So, getting that spacing can be kind of tricky. A lot of times I'll tell kids, and to kind of think about using two fingers, but since this is a little bit smaller, that's hard. But if you were going to do two fingers, you could put two fingers on either side of that center line and put like a little mark here and here. So that's the space in between your eyes. Then move your fingers over. And so say this oval were this big, this would be the space where your nose is, this would be an eye, this would be an eye. Now, since I'm drawing on a little bit of a smaller scale, I'm going to make this space in here a little bit smaller. There's my eraser. And then I'm going to use the edge of the paper. So I'm taking this space here, this is like the inner corners of my eye, and I'm moving this over. So I'm going to have an eye that's here and an eye that's here. And then remember how I said your face is kind of like five eye widths across? There's where that other eye would fit, and there's where that other eye would fit. Now, I don't want to get too into drawing like too much detail of eyes right now, so I'm going to kind of hold off on those. We're going to talk about some other kind of placement areas where things are going to go on our face. Okay, so next thing I would say is that your nose is about halfway between this middle line and this line where your chin is. Now, it's not an exact science, so don't quote me on it, but that means the bottom of our nose is going to be about here. And then our mouth is going to be like in this area, kind of halfway between here and here. That might be where our lips meet. Some other things that we can use just to kind of set up before we start drawing is the tops of our ears usually line up where our eyes start. And then Your ears usually come down somewhere between your nose and your mouth. Your ears are one of those things that never stops growing. So my ears are bigger than yours, but my ears are like down here. Yours are probably up a little bit higher. Necks, we don't want to have these skinny, scrawly little necks, but necks are basically kind of lining up with the outer corner of your eye. So if we imagine that eventually I'll have an eye in here, this comes down, shows me where my neck is going to be. Right. Now, you don't have to get too detailed because probably some of you, when you add in your hair, you're going to end up covering a lot of that up. So this is all just kind of prep work. So get caught up with me and then we'll go from here. I'm trying to make these like short videos, like so you can pause and move forward when you feel ready.